Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the JpeG podcast. Episode 13. Episode 13.
1-3 for you and me.
I am your host, Jerry.
And I am Greg.
The other host.
The other host. I am Greg.
Welcome back again, everyone. We've got another good show for you today. Let's get into it.
Talk to me. No, I'll talk to you.
I'll talk to you about you talking to me.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm confused now. So I saw this awesome thing, courtesy reddit.com, HTTPW.
Sponsored by Reddit. It's like one of those soundboards. Sponsored by Reddit.
Did you know that the Reddit co-founder is now engaged to Serena Williams and they're having a baby?
No. Oh, so that's who Serena Williams is
Alexis Ohanian.
with. Is that the name of the baby? Oh, no,
That's the name of the man?
Oh.
Baby's still cooking.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Still in the oven. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, small world.
Whoa.
Great show.
So,
Smallville.
there's this subreddit called Be Amazed, and I saw this GIF of basically this like hover board.
Okay.
This guy on a hoverboard. And it wasn't really a board. I don't know how to explain it. It was like a hover square.
Yeah.
And someone linked in the comments to what it was. And it's actually called a Flyboard.
Flyboard. Okay.
And it's an invention by a Frenchman.
Oh.
Do you know any Frenchman?
I do. I actually have a Frenchman in my my notes here to talk about later.
Dude, that's incredible.
I know.
He's 37 years old. His name's Frankie Zapata,
Which
which sounds Spanish.
that does sound Spanish.
Well, they're next door neighbors, I guess.
Okay.
He originally invented the water flyboard
That is sick. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture right now.
5 years ago. So the water flyboard is the one where it has like a pipe connected to you, and it just takes the water from the water up and pushes it down and jets.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
So you're connected to the pipe in that one.
And that's like a popular like tourist attraction right now.
Right. And I think there's probably a few different companies that do it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the only one that I know of, this flyboard, where it's completely detached and it's just literally forcing air downward, and you can like literally fly.
That is so cool. Yeah. I'm looking at him. He's got like a remote in his hand or something like that.
And we'll post this in the description so you guys can see, because it's like truly futuristic. Didn't think we'd ever see this in my lifetime kind of thing.
And it's not even that huge of a device either.
No, it's smaller than the table we're set up on here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So he's got, what does he have on his back? Is that like a parachute just in case?
Probably.
Huh.
I don't know, honestly. He's definitely got, like the motorcycle helmet and things like that.
Yeah.
But
he's actually really high up in the air in one of these pictures.
Yeah. And it's really like agile,
responsive and stuff too.
Yeah, like it reminded me of like a crotch rocket motorcycle.
Okay.
Like they can get down real low and just, I don't know.
Yeah, the water version of this seemed pretty, for lack of better words and no pun intended, fluid. Like when you moved your body.
Yeah.
And it is almost like you're moving your feet and stuff, and it would kind of respond that way, which way you wanted to turn and stuff. I imagine this is the same way. That's really cool.
Yeah. He said it took 2 years to make.
Wow.
And he's been in contact, or I guess the U.S. government has been in contact with him for like possible military uses and things like that.
Wow. On his shirt, he's already sponsored by Breitling, the watch company and stuff.
Ooh.
That's cool.
He used to be a competitive water skier and wakeboarder.
Oh, okay.
So he's like been in this world.
Yeah. Extreme sports world. He kind of has like a knack for it, I guess.
And the furthest he's gotten it to fly is 1.4 miles.
Wow.
Which is solid.
Yeah, that's kind of far for like a little thing you're standing on.
Yeah.
What kind of? I'm curious what kind of like engines these things are, but it looks like little rocket engine things.
Yep.
But propulsing your body up in the ground. I mean, or from the water. Why is he over water? I guess for safety. Probably.
Yeah. And he used to hang around or do skiing stuff, like I said.
True.
That's
awesome.
That's where he did like the water pump thing,
flying thing. Yeah.
Right. So
that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is sick. Speaking of things and flying and stuff like that, this actually reminds me, it's kind of cliche, but it reminds me of like Valerian. that new movie that's coming out, because they're like using like backpacks to propulse themselves through space and whatnot. So this is like
I would call it a jetpack.
a jetpack, yeah, but like this is close to a jetpack. You know what I mean? Like this is because jetpacks have been like a thing that's always been an inventor's dream to create. You know, and like over the years you've seen those ridiculous ones that are massive and huge and stuff. And
Iron Man sort of take on it.
Iron Man sort of take on it. This is like close to that, but. The next topic that I had that I wanted to talk about was Valerian, the movie that's coming out. That's going to be sick. Luke Benson's Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. And I actually have here this comic book.
You can hear it, folks. You know it's real. There it is. Hot off the press.
Yeah, you caught that.
I caught it.
This is actually called The Empire of 1,000 Planets. But this is like the graphic comic that they came out with, and I want to get through it because it looks really, really cool. But so basically, Valerian is it's going to be released July 21st, and if you haven't seen the trailer for it, definitely go and check it out.
Do yourself a favor, please check it out.
It's
stunning.
Yeah, stunning, visually stunning, literally.
Absolutely.
There's so many colors, and that's kind of what Luke Benson's known for. He's actually a director that's well known for movies like The Fifth Element,
Boom,
Lucy, and apparently Lucy 2 has just been announced, so they're coming out with the second one of that.
What was Lucy again?
Lucy was the one with Scarlett Johansson where she was like
a fighting machine.
She kind of became like a computer, you know what I mean? Like she became...
And even though she just did a movie where she kind of became a robot.
That's new.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's like the same movie.
It's almost like the same. Lucy, so for me, it was like visually stimulating. That's kind of like, I like the cinematography in it, but the plot to that movie kind of sucked because it was like, you're now everything inside this USB stick. It was kind of like, come on, really? But anyway, it was...
Oh, I remember this one. This is the one where they were like, the human brain only uses 10% of its capacity.
Yes.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, with Morgan Freeman, where they're like trying to harness the rest of your brain's power.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, shut up. I'm not going to see this because it's such a falsehood.
Right. And she like controlled people and like lifted them up and stuff with her mind.
Weird.
It was weird. Anyway, so that movie, and then Transporter 2, which is kind of a more realistic movie, I guess. He was also the director for that. I know, not quite realistic. Really.
I love it though.
Visually stimulating because it was action packed. You know,
Jason Statham. Love the fella.
So the cool thing about Valerian is that it may not be something that people here in the States have heard about, but it's actually a really famous and popular European comic. So it's been one of Europe's like best loved sci-fi series for almost 50 years. So Luc Besson, the director, is going to be working alongside Jean-Claude Mézières. I don't know how to pronounce that.
That was really good.
Thank you. And then Jean-Claude worked with Pierre Christian, who is the creator of Valerian. So Jean-Claude is the artist that drew the comics for Pierre. And Pierre is actually a legendary French comic writer. So it's kind of cool how it's going back into the history of how Valerian was created. And I mean, it was from like 1967, I believe.
Yeah, that's what this book says.
Yep. So it's been out for a while. And just the fact that they're going to bring it to the masses and
the silver screen.
Yeah. The trailer itself just looks outstanding. The colors and the visuals are crazy. So
one could argue that it's not more, but earlier than Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to argue that. It just is.
No, because it is.
Although today, it might be alternative.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, actually.
I love Star Wars. We got a movie coming out this year, but that's not what you're going to tell me.
We do. I'm stoked for that movie, though. I can't even say it enough. I'm so stoked for it. But speaking of Star Wars, today, May 25th, is the 40th anniversary for Star Wars. Happy anniversary, Star Wars.
Congratulations, everyone. We've been excellent.
So it was released in 1977 on May 25th. Originally, George Lucas. Did you know George Lucas was into car racing? That was a fun fact.
No.
Fun fact of the day. George Lucas was into car racing.
Like NASCAR?
Not quite like NASCAR, like almost like kit car, where he would create a car, build a car,
Ooh.
and go race it.
Nice.
And when he was younger, this is my college self speaking here, because
You're dating yourself here.
I am dating myself here, guys. Gray hairs in my head. I did a report on George Lucas, but he got in such a big accident when he was younger that he actually stepped away from the whole car scene, and he reevaluated his kind of life and what he wanted to do.
Whoa.
So we wanted to recreate like a fantasy world that he didn't have to have all the dangers of real life car racing, I guess. And he
made one of the spaceships that explode.
Made Star Wars and just used his creative mind to do that, I guess. But yeah, so originally George Lucas had Star Wars showing in just a tiny amount of theaters. It really wasn't that many. I don't know the exact amount, but it wasn't a lot. And he wasn't expecting this to be such as big of a success as it was. And obviously he was wrong, because the movie generated tons of crowds then. And to this day, it still generates tons of crowds and lines and stuff now. So
my mom saw A New Hope in Spain while studying abroad.
Really?
In Spanish.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious how they would dub the voices over, if it'd give it the same kind of effect, you know?
I'm sure I don't know.
I would laugh, unfortunately.
Well, they were all...
How do you do Chewbacca in Spanish? It's just crazy how throughout the years, though, they've kind of kept it nostalgic and timeless feeling.
And it's got a really low somebody was mentioning it has a really low barrier of entry for like a geekdom.
Yeah, yeah.
You have your Harry Potter, you have your Star Wars, all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take much to get invested into Star Wars as opposed to some of the other stuff, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, because I mean, I don't know a lot. I mean, I haven't had the time, or even when I was younger, the passion to read Lord of the Rings, because those books are massive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Star Wars in itself is just, like I have here in my notes, the music is instantly recognizable. The visuals and the dialogue is just sometimes
forever ingrained in our hearts.
Forever ingrained in our hearts. Kind of, sometimes it's hilariously stupid, just what they say.
Yeah.
You're my only hope, Kenobi.
But they're iconic.
They're very iconic. It's good. Happy anniversary, Star Wars.
Star Wars, space travel, spaceships. What about freeze-dried mouse sperm in space?
You briefly told me about this. I'm intrigued.
Let me break it down for you.
Oh.
So, these Japanese scientists from a university in Japan, I don't know why they did this, but it's pretty cool because...
That's what I wanted to know. Why?
I guess the eventual goal is to see if mammalian-based reproduction can occur in space.
Right.
Because eventually, I guess the thought is, we're going to be in space or on another planet.
True.
Got to spread the seed.
I'm already going, dude. See you later.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. See ya. Bye.
That was a high five. But they freeze-dried some mouse sperm, sent it to the International Space Station for 288 days. And then they brought it back.
Okay.
They fertilized a woman mouse. Mousette.
Yes. The meese.
And it proved to be fine.
Okay.
They were born. He said that when you're in space, you're subjected to like 100 times more radiation than Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was some DNA damage, but overall, like once it was starting to grow in the mother, it got rectified, and the babies came out fine.
What? So
yeah.
I mean, like you're saying, I guess they're experimenting, trying to figure out maybe they could try this with humans next. Obviously, it's a long way away, but
yeah, I guess it would be ethical still because it's just sperm.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you would have people.
I know, knocking on the doors.
Right.
Don't. But I mean, understandably so. People have their opinions.
Yeah, they do.
But what about the mice?
But the mice. The Russians put a dog up there, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they've put monkeys and stuff in space too.
That's so rude of them.
George didn't deserve to be up there.
No.
Curious George, he wanted to stay on planet Earth.
Yep.
Okay.
Now that we locked that down.
Yeah.
But the purpose of the project was to know whether, like I said, mammalian reproduction is possible in space or not.
I guess confirmed.
I mean, sort of, like a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess the first steps to kind of taking the next steps. So,
exactly.
That's interesting. I know last week we talked about what was it, the Avengers, and briefly like Spider-Man and stuff. Who's the actor that did Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Yes. Okay, Tom Holland. I see here you have something about Tom Holland.
Little British boy.
Is he British? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
because I saw a trailer for like the new Spider-Man, like I mentioned, and then I briefly saw this article too that you're about to talk about, the this Uncharted thing.
Uncharted is one of my favorite game series of all time for PS3 and PS4.
Have you platinumed it?
Yeah, all 4.
Seriously?
Sorry, all 4. Yeah.
Wow, that's hard to do.
It is hard. Playing on the crushing levels, difficulty sucks.
Is that what it's called? Crushing?
Yeah.
Jeez. No way.
But it's so fun, and I love it.
I watched a friend of mine play that, and it was really tough. Did you play the remastered version?
Mm-hmm. I played the original ones, and I replayed them again.
Nice.
Remastered because they look so much better, and they updated the controls.
Oh, okay.
To be more in line with current standards.
The story is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's just like watching a movie in itself.
Yeah. So Hollywood has wanted to make a movie adaptation of this film for probably 5 to 7 years now.
Yeah.
Since 2 came out.
Okay.
And was really big. And it's changed hands a lot in terms of like screenwriters, directors, and it's been all these like shitty ones for so long. I was really worried about it.
Interesting.
And at one point, Mark Wahlberg was slated to play Nathan Drake. And if you've played the games at all, you know that he's nothing like the character of Drake.
No, doesn't look anything, doesn't act anything.
Correct. So stop.
Yeah.
Is what I was really worried about that, and all the fans were.
Yeah.
But finally he's been disassociated with the project, and it's been about a year since I've heard anything from the Uncharted project, and now I'm pretty excited about it because and instead of just making another story, they're going back in time, and in Uncharted 3, there's a part where you play as basically like a tween version of Nate.
A young version, yeah.
Yeah, a young version where he's sort of learning to pickpocket and become like sort of like a...
Oh, yeah. I remember that part of the game, yeah.
Yeah. He meets Sullivan.
What country was he in? He was in...
I think it's Colombia?
Colombia or something. Yeah.
Maybe Peru, but...
With like the museum that he goes into.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yeah, that was actually a fun part. I actually liked playing that part.
Yeah. So it's taking off from there.
Yeah.
Or being at that time.
Sure. That's cool because that was like a visually stimulating part of the game too.
Yeah.
All the colors and everything. That was cool.
And it's cool. It's cool because Sully is one of my favorite characters, and what they're saying is that they're gonna sort of focus on that for the movie.
Sully, I feel like looks like an actual person.
A lot of people have said,
like in Hollywood, you know,
who's that guy from Burn Notice?
Oof, I don't know.
Burn Notice.
The interwebs at our fingertips.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell? Okay.
They say he would be a really good Sullivan.
A lot. Oh, okay. I wonder if they... Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's kind of got the hair. And
just throw a mustache on there and you're sold.
Yeah. Who does the voice of Sullivan, though?
It is a really awesome voice actor named Richard McGonigal.
McGonigal.
Yeah. I think Richard.
Okay.
But just amazing voice work.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
so
see
good.
this guy. That's cool.
He's awesome. But yeah, and I'm pretty excited for the casting of Tom Holland. He looks pretty okay in terms of seeming very young.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were saying that he could grow along the movies. So he would get older and a little more, maybe buff or whatever.
Yeah,
If they continue to make the movies into adulthood.
that's true. Yeah, because he's pretty young in himself. I forget exactly how many years young this young man.
20.
20. Jeez. How old? I mean, I guess he was like 18 then when the Avengers movie came out. I think.
This is weird. He was born in 1996.
1996.
That's so odd.
I know. We're getting old, dude.
Well, you dated yourself earlier. Jerry, stay.
You know, when you go to the registers or something, it says, will ID if you are within date.
Yeah.
I know. I hate seeing the number on the end continuing to rise and rise and rise.
I just want to go down.
Yeah.
Can we go down?
We can't.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of getting older, let's talk about Ducktales.
I don't want to. I love Ducktales.
Because we're only getting older and we can only have a million bajillion things to be nostalgic about. So
I love that the people that are our age that end up going into like cartoons and story making and all that stuff is at an age where they can start actually pushing out material that they loved as kids.
Yeah.
So we love it as well.
Yeah. And so DuckTales is coming out. It's going to be coming out on Disney XD. So
Disney XD
brings us back to our childhood of sitting there and watching the Disney Channel. You know,
extreme Disney.
Extreme Disney for extreme kids.
And
you
Greg
know,
and Jerry.
Like, you know, when they were like scribing the Disney G, you know, the actors and actresses with that like light up stick.
Yeah.
And you're watching the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
They, like, wave that wand. I always thought that was so cool. But have you seen the video of them like doing it without the visuals and just their sounds of their voices?
No, is it stupid?
It's very dumb. It's very dumb. Oh god.
It's like watching. I don't know if you've ever seen those YouTube videos of like popular sitcoms with without the clapping on audience tracks.
Exactly like
It
that.
makes it the most awkward thing ever.
So they had like Hilary Duff and then some of these other characters. I forget their names, but like they were like, okay, now smile, and she'd be like, and you could like hear her mouth smiling. Yeah. Or like when she's like, and you're watching the Disney Channel. It's like, what sounds are you making with your mouth right now?
People also do music videos with that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, where they take out the actual voice of the singer.
They take out everything and then put their own voice over.
Yeah.
But they also put like
right, yeah,
as they're like doing dance moves,
grunting and stuff. Yeah. So it's kind of funny, and it's also just like cringeworthy when you see this because you're like, oh my god.
But you know, it's like,
what are they making them do?
You know, it's like pretty accurate.
It is
as to what it sounds like when you're on the set.
Yep,
actually recording it.
That's true. Oh my gosh. Back to it though.
But DuckTales.
Now that we went on that, DuckTales it was one of my favorites. I loved the pilot that flew the airplane.
Launchpad.
Yeah, Launchpad. So it's gonna be sick.
That guy's Launchpad is played by Beck Bennett of SNL fame, and before SNL, he was in those AT&T commercials where he would sit down in a circle with kids. If you remember.
No.
And he would be in a suit, and he would be like, "So talk to me about what something means," and then like all these little like kindergartners would. You don't remember that?
No.
Dog. But go on.
No. I mean, basically, and the cast seems awesome. Like you said, the SNL guy. I mean, he's playing Launchpad McQuack.
Yep, and Bobby Moynihan.
Plays
Louis.
Yes,
the green one.
Yes,
he's leaving SNL.
Sad
as of this year, but
he's getting this awesome deal with DuckTales. I mean, they get to have fun and the visuals in this cartoon look awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where they're like in a kindergarten class. Yeah, and he's like all serious, and they're like, "Well, I don't know, I want to just color."
Right.
He's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
I understand what you're doing there, but is it really what you want to talk about?
But in DuckTales, it's like visually stimulating, and it has like the cartoon and the drawing is is awesome because it has like the kind of cartooning where it's textured
and it's not freaking CG.
It's not CG and it's all drawn. It seems like. I mean, I think
at least Flash.
At least it looks like it.
It's
but
2D.
2D, yeah. So like when they put up something on the board or when they're on a platform or something and it's going outside, you can actually see the texture of like the scenes that they're standing in and stuff, and it's like an enhanced version of what we watched as kids, which I think is awesome. So,
and it's full of huge names.
Yeah,
David Tennant,
and your classic, Ducktales. Woo!
I wasn't super hyped about the new sound of it.
Why? Because it wasn't, I guess, as nostalgic, or it's kind of like too remixed. Yeah. I'm
sure it'll grow on me.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like where it goes, but just the fact that it's like touching back on my childhood. There were so many really good shows that I liked, like DuckTales and Chip and Dale, Rescuer, not Rescuer. What is that?
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, Rescue Rangers. That's what it was. And then
I had the NES game of that.
Oh man, good times. Another great cartoon that I liked was the Thundercats.
Not
Thundercats. I'm sorry. I'm thinking that's Thundercats. I'm thinking of SwatKatz.
Yeah, boy.
SwatKatz.
Dude,
that was my
you're
jam.
one of the only people that talks about SwatKatz. I loved that so much. I love the jet.
Exactly.
3 afterburners.
Yeah.
Fucking like power metal music.
So cool.
It got me so amped up.
And what they came out of like a trash can hangar bay under the ground or something.
They were like janitors / dump runners.
Yeah.
They ran a dump.
Yeah.
And the alarm would go off and they'd be like, oh, hit the button and they're like,
SwatKatz, go!
So good.
Yeah, that was so cool. And like the way that they animated that is almost like anime cartoons. Like, did you ever see Robotech?
No.
Robotech? That was sick. Robotech was like a nice anime back in the day, but I loved Robotech. And that's what SwatKatz reminded me of, because it kind of had like when the missiles fired out, it had like a stream behind it and a huge explosion and stuff.
I think that was like a sort of part of the golden age of the 90s. It's sort of known as like a golden age of 90s animation.
Yes.
Because you have that kind of stuff, and it's just like Animaniacs was out,
right?
Simpsons, just like it was a golden age.
Exactly. I love that.
Then everything transferred to like CG,
really big CG,
yeah, or like sort of different styles with like persistent backgrounds, but everything in the front would be changing. So I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. It almost got like kind of like away from sitting there drawing each scene out. It was just like which I understand. Technology is advancing, and we talk a lot about technology and how it advances and different shows and products and stuff, but it's always nice to kind of touch back on our roots. Yes, our roots. So
our roots keep us strong.
They
keep us upright.
They do, like a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not like a broccoli tree. More like a mahogany tree,
or a cedar,
spruce.
I'm a cedar guy.
Okay.
So let's leave it at that. Okay.
Let's leave it at that. I think this episode though has been pretty nostalgic with all this going back in time. 40s or happy 40th anniversary with Star Wars. Why are you pulling your eyebrows right now?
I don't know. I do it when I'm nervous.
If you guys could see this, he's hiding behind his eyebrows.
They're a little bushy.
No.
All right. Well, thank you. But we didn't talk about my eyebrows this episode, but we did until the end.
Until the end.
But we talked about a badass flyboard.
Oh, man, that is so sick.
We talked about Valerian.
Yes. Go see that. We'll put the link in the description for the trailer that is out. The last trailer that was just released.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Got to check it out. We talked about frozen mouse sperm.
Yep.
And Greg's going to send some of his sperm up into space next.
Yep. I'm in contact with SpaceX already.
Oh, tight.
Elon is going to
Elon?
send me a prepaid postage rocket.
Sick. In a Tesla.
Do you remember those rockets where you would set it on the tube and jump on the big bladder and we boom?
Yes.
So
yeah.
Elon sent me that.
Oh, cool. That's
so
tight.
it's 2 stages. I just have to do the manual launch first, like we used to as kids.
Stomp on it.
Then it gets ignitioned after 40 feet.
Whoa.
Then it goes and takes off to Canaveral.
Canaveral.
And once it gets to Canaveral,
this is a hop and a skip, dude.
It's going to parachute into the next SpaceX capsule.
Sounds
and
beautiful.
it'll be on its way.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take to get back?
Well, we're going for 2 year.
2 year trek.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to see if really it can be withstanded.
You know, I think it's got a chance.
I think so too.
I think it does. Can you imagine though? That'd be sick.
It would be sick.
I think they've started to come out with some of those toys again. Like they're starting to release some of these.
I loved that thing.
Yeah, those were really cool. I actually only played with the rockets that you had to put the actual rocket engines into. Like you had to buy them at the hobby shop and stuff.
My mother didn't let me.
Well, mine didn't either, but we did it for Boy Scouts, so it was like the rocketing merit badge.
Here we are back to nostalgia again. Motherfucker.
Big Boy Productions.
All right, guys.
It's been another good one. This has been episode 13.
Check us out, www.jpegpodcast.com.
You got it.
Hit us up on social media there. We got all the buttons and the links.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Give us a listen. Give us a like.
Give us a sub.
Give us a sub. It's been good. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.